I love Hypercar, I love the championship.
It's going to be my first ever time driving this car and I'm really excited to get my first taste.
It's the first time I have a roof in a car, so it feels a bit weird.
My dream is to win the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Two different levels I cannot relate. And it's safe. It's all a thing until you get paid. You speak it so loud when nothing to say.
I'm Frederik Vesti, I'm 22 years old. I'm here at the WEC rookie test in Bahrain, testing for Cadillac. It's going to be my first ever time driving this car and I'm really excited to get my first taste. I know the track, but I don't know the car, so it will be quite interesting to get that first feeling. This year was my first year in endurance racing in ELMS, in LMP2 car. Then I got a final race in IMSA as well. So some good experience, still feeling a little bit new in the whole endurance world. Obviously I've grown up in F3, F2 and done some F1 running as well, so it's still kind of new, but I like it here. It's been quite challenging in some ways. It's a different platform, it's driven differently, but in the end it has 4 wheels and you need to go as quick as possible. So yeah, it's different, but it's the same things that apply and I'm just trying to improve every single time I'm in the car. I think in general rookie tests are amazing for drivers because it really gives an opportunity to the young drivers. We see a lot of big names here in WEC, but it's difficult to arrive as a young driver because you don't have the experience. So a day like this is really useful because you gain a lot of experience. And for me it's just let's say a good first time in the car to learn it, and then we will start proper testing later on. I'm here to win every race I can, and when we have the car and the whole race, I want to win. I'm not specifically going for one race. I think the championship is what we're here to do. Obviously we have a lot of Danes in the WEC paddock, so I've been asking a lot of questions to them. But yeah, obviously a lot of guys from the F2 paddock as well is here for the rookie test, so it's good to catch up with them.
I'm Victor Martins, 23 years old, and I'm testing with Alpine at the WEC rookie test in Bahrain. I have been testing a few things, of course, getting used to the new environment. It's the first time I have a roof in a car, so it feels a bit weird. But let's say no, just getting some laps, getting a good feedback to the team also, because I try to maximize what I do. And if I can give also some positive feedback to the team, in addition to that, I think it will be good. It's a bit different than Formula 2. It's endurance racing, so every lap is important. You push hard, obviously as consistently as possible. But let's say the time management is a big thing also around Bahrain, which I'm quite used to also. The car is different. The car handles a bit differently. It's a bit heavier, but it has a lot of power also. There is a new system that I'm not used to, but I think with the help of the engineers, I get to feel it quite easily. For sure, the step between Formula 2 is quite big in terms of system, buttons that we need to touch in the car, changing. You can change a lot of things when you are driving in live, while in F2 it could take 2 or 3 hours in the garage. So for sure, these kind of things you need to get used to it. Traffic also, I'm not used to drive with GTs around and trying to have the best lap, the best pace, but without crashing or whatever. So it's a good test, good to try now. I think at first, it's kind of frustrating because sometimes you're on a good lap and they get into your way and you kind of lose half a second, but let's say it's challenging, and when it's challenging you can make the difference, so compared to other people. So let's say it's enjoyable still. I have been in the Alpine Academy since a while now, and I think I have gone into many kind of situations. Now I'm still racing in Formula 2, I still have 2 races to go. We were speaking already for a while to have this opportunity one day, which is now, today. But I think it's just the relationship between the Academy, Alpine, the endurance team, and I think it was quite obvious to accept it. Get here, try to feel the car, feel the environment. It's really not the same. Try to see how the car is handling also, how is the feeling inside it. Because I work with different engineers, different approach on the driving style, so it can only bring me positive for me for the future.
I'm Arthur Leclerc, I'm 24 years old and I'm driving the 499P in Bahrain. So I've been doing some long run for starting, so we did a few runs of 10 laps. Yeah, it went quite well. Was feeling quite hot in the car, but everything went good. I mean, I was doing the LMP2, the ELMS, with Spanish Racing, so yeah, it went quite well, but it's completely different cars, obviously. This one has a bit more horsepower, and yeah, it's quite nice to drive. But yeah, I would say it's a quite similar way to approach things. It's endurance in the end. You need to keep the tires alive because you are not doing like sprint races like we are doing in other categories. So yeah, that's mainly the target. I mean, the way to drive is really different. I have the feeling that these cars need a lot of precision. I think a bit more than an LMP2, and if you are not as precise, you pay it straight away in terms of lap time and in terms of everything. You lose the car quite hard. So yeah, it's a bit more complex to drive these cars, but in the end, it's a lot more challenge. With Antonio, we talk a bit how the car needs to be driven. I know Antonio a bit more because he was in the Ferrari Driver Academy. He's really close friend to my brother as well. So yeah, he's a friend, and obviously we talk a bit. I could see as well Niklas that I didn't know before, but they gave me a bit of tips before to start these days, and it's always great to have some tips of the official drivers. I love Hypercar, I love the championship. Obviously it's my target. I think the WEC championship, you could see now that is making huge progress. There is a lot of constructors. There is, I mean, Le Mans is the most mythical race in the world with the Grand Prix of Monaco, with the Indy 500. So yeah, I mean, there is a lot of attractive for the WEC, and obviously the Hypercar is the best category out there, the fastest car. So obviously it would be a dream to take part of this championship, and even more with Ferrari.
I'm Théo Pourchaire, I'm 21 years old and I'm testing for Peugeot TotalEnergies. It's my first experience in endurance racing. I mean, I've been to Le Mans once or twice during the test and during the race because I was living there for 4 years. My school was there, and yeah, I mean, but I never drove a prototype, never drove a GT car, so it's my first real experience, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Peugeot gave me the opportunity, they called me. I didn't drive since July, the IndyCar Toronto race. So for me it was an amazing experience. I mean, it's super cool to receive first, and it's an amazing experience to drive here. So yeah, I'm gonna give my best, and probably gonna one day race here. Hopefully, my dream is to win the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So, you know. I was driving the 9X8. The car was great. I drove, I think, 5 or 6 laps. It was a good first run just to learn all the systems in the car, learn, you know, working with new people for me. But the track, I know it. So this track, I really love it. I won twice in Formula 2. It's pretty good. Yeah, I can't wait to be this afternoon, you know, to do a full testing run plan, put new tires, and try to push the limits of the car. Yeah, firstly, it's the driving position is a little bit different, and I'm in a cockpit, in a closed cockpit, so it's very warm inside the car. I can tell the people, you know, compared to F1 or F2, it's very warm, and the car is a little bit heavier, but it's very powerful. Really quick in the straight lines, and overall it's fun. And with the traffic also on the track, it's my first time driving with the different categories on the track, and you know, with the GT cars it's a little bit scary at the beginning, you know, I don't want to crash into anybody, and yeah, so I was flashing the lights all the time. I hope they are not mad at me, the other drivers, but I prefer to do that to be safe.